What's up? We're at it again. Finally, I'm excited to be back at it. Uh, this this spiritual gumbo is the introduction to the book of the Numbers. We last left off reading in the book of Leviticus, and let me just look at some of the things. Okay, so we last leave off reading about the year of the Jubilee, and about how they're supposed to treat it every 7 years. Um, it doesn't mean that it's going to be treated like that, though. So, having said that, let's just go ahead and say every 7 years, people are supposed to get back all their possessions, all their belongings, whatever was that it belonged to them, supposed to get returned to them. We obviously know that didn't happen because look where we're at. Verse 1 of chapter 1 of the book of the Numbers. And the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai and the tabernacle of witness on the first day of the second month in the second year of their departure from the land of Egypt, saying, so this right here, this happens. This is happening as the the tabernacle of witness is built. All right. So I know that sometimes the events seem like they're spaced out and they're far apart, or sometimes they seem like they're really close and they're not. This is one of those things where we read all those directions just for us to hear that this is all taking place all around the same time. All right. Having got that out the way, I don't think I need to stop for a little while. Verse 2, take the sum of all the congregation of Israel according to their kindreds, according to their houses of their fathers' families, according to their number by their names, according to their heads, every male from 20 years old and upwards, everyone that goes forth in the forces or force of Israel. Take account of them with their strength. Thou and Aaron take account of them. And with you there shall be each one of the rulers according to the tribe of each. They shall be according to the houses of their families. So what it's saying right now, what's up, fam? What's up? What it's saying right now, y'all, is that he says, look, everybody from 20 years old up, right, who's of the fighting age, and let's go ahead and be particular now. You can nitpick about how many of these people you believe are totally Semitic, I guess, but everyone we're going to read about, or all the numbers you're going to hear, are the true numbers of the people. And this is not including the mixed multitude that came out with them from Egypt. This is just their people. All right. And this is where we're at. Verse 4, and with you there shall be each one of the rulers according to the tribe of each. They shall be according to the house of their families. And these are the names of the men who shall be present with you. Of the tribe of Reuben, Eleazar, the son of Sedior. Of Simeon, Salamiel, the son of Sarusadai. Of Judah, Nasan, the son of Aminadab. Of Issachar, Nathaniel, the son of Sogar. Of Zabulon, Eliab, the son of Kilon. Of the sons of Joseph, of Ephraim, Eliasama, the son of Emiud. Of Manasseh, Gamaliel, the son of Phatasur. Of Benjamin, Abadan, the son of Gadioni. Of Dan, Achiezer, the son of Amisadai. Yep, that's right. That's right. Amisadai. Of Aser, Phagiel, the son of Ekron. Of Gad, Elisaph, the son of Raguel. Of Naphtali, Ikere or Akira, the son of Enan. These were famous men. Stop. These were famous men heads of the tribes according to their families. These are the heads of thousands in Israel. Why this is so important is because how could you be famous if you're slaves? It's no different than, think about black slavery, right? And there's only so many famous slaves, but this would be like the equivalent of like when slaves got free, who people went and like whoever the actual leaders were, these are the people that they followed after slavery in this country. So in the Egyptian bondage, it's not much different. Where am I at though? And these guys are the heads of all the tribes. So you can call it popularity, you can call it who has the most provender or the most substance. However you figure it, you're probably right on several different levels. It might not be just any one of those things, but it's probably a combination of them that accumulate to this individual being chosen to represent the tribe. Verse 17, and Moses and Aaron took these men who were called by name, and they assembled all the congregation on the first day of the month in the second year. And they registered, or I don't know what that means. It's a Latin word followed up by some some more Latin and then some Greek. You know what I mean? I don't know what that means, but I assume because it's talking about registered, it has something to do with taking everybody's numbers. You know what I'm saying? Where are we at? And they registered them after their lineage. After their lineage, so this is where so this is a key point, progeny, after their families, right? And after the number of their names from 20 years old and upwards, every male according to their number, or their head or pole, as the Lord commanded Moses. So they were numbered in the wilderness of Sinai. And the sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, according to their kindreds, according to their divisions, according to the houses of their families, according to the number of their names, according to their heads, were all males from 20 years old and upward, everyone that went out with the host, being the whole entire body of the people that left Egypt. And you could also claim the host that were that were set by the Most High God to escort the people. There's several different ways. I'd lean more toward the second and true understanding, but for just base understanding, you could say the host are the people or the body, the entire body of everyone that was there. Where we at? The numbering of the tribe of Reuben, this is verse 21, was, listen to this, 46,400. For the children of Simeon, according to their kindreds, according to their divisions, according to the houses of their families, according to the number of their names, according to their polls, all males from 20 years old and upward, everyone that goes out with the host. The numbering of them of the tribe of Simeon was 59,300. Now, it's about to skip right to Judah. Okay. The number and the actual ordering of how it's going to name the people, it skips the birthing order after Judah. So don't worry about it keeping it all in order. Because the technical thirdborn would be Levi. Verse 24, for the sons of Judah, according to their kindreds, according to their divisions, according to the houses of their families, according to the number of their names, according to their polls, all males from 20 years old and upward, everyone that goes forth with the host, the number of the tribe of Judah was 74,600. Now keep that number of Simeon having 59,000 and Judah having 74,000. Combine those numbers and it's good. We're talking way down the line. That is a significant factor. And it's actually a significant factor to our bondage right now here in this land. But I'll talk about it when we kind of sort of get there. But the biggest key is that some of the people that were brought with the Jehudites to their captivity were the Simeonites. By and far and by and large, this would have happened. Let's just keep going. And that's because they joined the tribe of Judah to live with them in the land of their inheritance. That's why. So the number of the tribe of Judah was 74,600. We're going to keep going. Verse 26. For the sons of Issachar, according to their kindreds, according to their divisions, according to the houses of their families, according to the number of their names, according to their polls, all males from 20 years old and upward, everyone that goes forth with the host. The numbering of the tribe of Issachar was 54,400. For the sons of Zabulon, according to their kindreds, according to their divisions, according to the houses of their families, according to the number of their names, according to their polls, all males from 20 years old upward, and everyone that goes out with the host. Numbering of the tribe of Zabulon, 57,400. Now it's about to get very interesting because we're about to read about Ephraim and Manasseh. And just listen to this for a second too. When it says according to their names, it means that because they're sub-tribes within the tribe. You know, within the scripture, you read about certain guys like Jezreelites, and there's a couple other names that are thrown out there sometimes that are people that are actually truly Israelites. Right on. If you really look at it, you could contend that they're Israelites more so than not, and they're for sure Hebrews. So when you start to not split the hairs and you just look at it straight down the line, there are examples of this. It's just later in the scripture, you know, because right now they're still just the children of Israel. So these other clans, they're not established yet, or they're not famous, however you want to put it. Verse 30. For the sons of Joseph, the sons of Ephraim, according to their kindreds, according to their divisions. And this is pretty much how they break their numbers up, how they set up the groups: archers, infantry, chariot cavalry, regular cavalry. If they had any kind of heavy equipment like artillery, then the people who operate that, that's what it means by divisions. So just in case everybody's wondering, like, what does that mean? That's what that's saying. The houses of their families, obviously, this is when people go off and have their own children and who people connect themselves to, i.e., I want to say Camuel is the father of the Syrians, if I'm not mistaken. But Bethuel is he's technically not Syrian, I guess, but he claims to be Syrian. You see what I'm saying? So it's all a matter of allegiance as well too. But these are just these are minor details that really are almost never chronicled within the scripture for us to actually see it and to appreciate it in its fullness. Give me a moment. For the sons of Joseph, verse 30, according to their kindreds, according to their divisions, according to the houses of their family, according to the numbers of their names, according to their polls, all males from 20 years old and upward, everyone that goes out with the host, numbering of them of the tribe of Ephraim was 40,500. For the sons of Manasseh, according to their kindreds, according to their divisions, according to the house of their families, according to the number of their names, according to their polls, all males from 20 years old and upward, everyone that goes out with the host, The numbering of the tribe of Manasseh was 32,200. So between the two, it's like 72,000. They're almost as strong as Judah together. For the sons of Benjamin, according to their kindreds, according to their divisions, according to the houses of their families, according to the number of their names, according to their polls, every male from 20 years old and upward, everyone that goes forth with the host, the numbering of them, of the tribe of Benjamin, was 35,400. For the sons of Gad, according to their kindreds, according to their divisions, according to the houses of their families, according to the number of their names, according to their polls, all males from 20 years old and upward, everyone that goes forth with the host. The numbering of them, of the tribe of Gad, was 45,000, so 45,650. For the sons of Dan, according to their kindreds, according to their divisions, according to the houses of their families, according to the number of their names, according to their polls, all males from 20 years old and upward, everyone that goes forth with the host, the numbering of them, of the tribe of Dan, was 62,700. For the sons of Aser, according to their kindreds, according to their divisions, according to the number of the, according to the number, according to the houses of their families, according to the number of their names, according to their polls, every male from 20 years old and upward, everyone that goes forth with the host, the numbering of them, of the tribe of Asher, was 41,500. For the sons of Naphtali, according to their kindreds, according to their divisions, according to the houses of their families, according to the number of their names, according to their polls, every male from 20 years old and upward, every one who goes forth with the host. The numbering of the tribe of Naphtali was 53,400. This is the numbering which Moses and Aaron and the rulers of Israel, being 12 men, conducted. There was a man for each tribe. They were according to the tribe of the house of their family. And the whole number of the children of Israel with their host from 20 years old and upward, everyone that goes out to set himself in battle array in Israel, came to 600,000, 3,550. But the Levites of the tribe of their family were not counted among the children of Israel. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, See, thou shalt not muster the tribe of Levi, and thou shalt not take their numbers in the midst of the children of Israel. And I'll tell you why this is important in the morning. Not in the morning, but in a moment. And do thou set the Levites over the tabernacle of witness and over all its furniture. And how you doing, sister? I hope everything is going all right with you. Give me one moment. And do thou, verse 50, set the Levites over the tabernacle of witness and over all its furniture and over all the things that are in it. And they shall do service in it. And they shall encamp round about the tabernacle. And in removing the tabernacle, the Levites shall take it down. And in pitching the tabernacle, they shall set it up. Let the stranger, listen, this is a very important thing I'm about to read to y'all. Let the stranger that advances to touch it die. And the children of Israel shall encamp, every man in his own order, and every man according to his own company or headship, according to the situation of his captain or prince, and every man according to his company with their host. Now we're going to stop right here for just half a second before we finish off this chapter and get to just trying to steamroll through some stuff. I could contend that when it says stranger, I could contend that it's talking about anybody who's not a Levite, right on, who's strange to their in particular branch of the children of Israel. I could really contend that. I will contend that on a very subtle note, but a more bold note, the son of the Egyptian, of the woman who was Israelitish, whose father was Egyptian, by the way. Um, he that young man would have never been able to get close to the tabernacle of witness anyway. So it's kind of interesting that the events played out the way that they did anyway, right? That this guy who's a stranger would curse the name. Then they would then these instructions would come, right? You follow what I'm saying? And therefore set a tone where it's like, yeah, right. If a stranger touches this, we're killing them. You get what I'm saying? Now, another thing, we're about to you're about to hear about the number of the you won't hear about the actual number of the tribe of Levi until I want to say like the middle part of chapter 3. But I'm going to tell you right now, spoiler alert, they're the smallest tribe. I believe the Most High God didn't want the Levites to be mustered in front of everybody because he didn't want them to try to overtake the Levites. That's a very, very, very logical, a very realistic thing that the Most High God, as a logistical contingency, he's like, yeah, you're not gonna number your people right now. And he also does this for another reason, but I do believe that's a key reason why he did not have them to muster themselves directly all the way. And sure, the other tribes would have known that they were kind of small in number, but to know their exact number might give you wicked ideas, might give you evil ideas. And let's go ahead and just keep reading. Now, verse 53. But let the Levites encamp round about the tabernacle of witness, fronting it. And so there shall be no sin among the children of Israel. And the Levites themselves shall keep guard of the tabernacle of witness. And the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses and Aaron. So did they. So this is a very crucial and important thing because it's telling us right now that what took place did happen. We can't say to what degree. We really can't even contend that. And I'm not going to say it's not important. I'm not going to say it's not important to not contend that. What I'm going to say is that it's less important that we get boggled down in that detail and that we acknowledge that there's 600,000, 3,550 fighting men. And I'm going to contend that all these men with certain variants all still look very similar, if you get what I'm getting at. Why this is so important is because even the stranger looks like the people. Right. I've been trying to stress that this whole time. Right. A lot of the people rolling around with them, only so many of these dudes are not gilded with facial hair. So the real difference, the major difference is the language, right? And when I say that is they stole the language from us here. But could you imagine if there were any of us who still spoke the language that the people spoke when they first migrated into the land that they called Africa, when they were taken and brought on ships, when the Africans are like, yeah, we don't know what language that is. Right. See what I'm saying? Because there were people like that in Egypt who maintained a continuity to their roots. You see what I mean? And this is it's a very crucial, critical thing that you can acknowledge that. Because these aren't people who don't have a sense of self. They have a very strong sense of self. You see? They know that they're the children of Israel. If they don't know anything else, they know that. And that's a very critical thing. The Levites are set in front of the tabernacle of witness. Several strong reasons to watch, to see what's going on, right? And also so they can protect the tabernacle from any sort of unforeseen advances. Much of the weaponry and much of the equipment in the battle array, the Levites have direct access to. That's a critical thing. We're just going to keep reading. But I will try to get back to that later. Verse 1. And the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, let the children of Israel encamp fronting each other, every man keeping his own rank, according to their standards, according to the houses of their families. The children of Israel shall encamp round about the tabernacle of witness. Clearly, the people with the highest rank, right, or the people with the most favor are the people who get to encamp closest to the tabernacle of witness. Go ahead and establish that before we keep reading. That's obvious. Verse 3. And they that encamp toward the east, or that's the face, right? The opening of it. And they that encamp first toward the east shall be the order of the camp of Judah with their host. And the prince of the sons of Judah, Nasan, the son of Aminadab. There we go. His forces that were numbered were 74,600. And they that encamp shall be next to the tribe of Issachar. The prince of the sons of Issachar shall be Nathaniel, the son of Sogar. His forces that were numbered were 54,400. And they that encamp next shall be the tribe of Zabulon. The prince of the sons of Zabulon shall be Eliab. The prince of these sons of the sons of Zabulon shall be Eliab, the son of Kelon. His forces that were numbered were 57,400. All that were numbered of the camp of Judah were 186,400. They shall move first with their forces. This is the order of the camp of Reuben. Their forces shall be toward the south. So it's east, then it's west. I mean south, excuse me. I don't know why I said west, but east and then south. So never eat soggy waffles, as they taught us when we were little children. Taught me that, excuse me. Where are we at? Verse 10. This is the order of the camp of Reuben. Their forces shall be toward the south. And the prince of the children of Reuben shall be Eleazar, the son of Sedior. His forces that were numbered were 46,500. And they that encamp next to him shall be the tribe of Simeon. And the prince of the sons of Simeon shall be Salamiel, the son of Sarusadai. Now notice that they've already been separated. Notice that the Most High God already has a level of separate. They've maintained the ordinance, that the charge that Jacob gave them when he was passing, that you two, Simeon and Levi, you guys cannot be connected in the tribe. You have to be separated. And that's just why I believe that they're not in the east. They're not in the actual front part of the tabernacle of witness. They're in a direction where they're not, even though the Levites encamp round about it, they're not directly right by the actual Levites. They're kind of offset. Not offset, they are offset. You know what I mean? Not kind of. That's what I meant. His forces that were numbered, this is Simeon, were 59,300. And they that encamp next to them shall be the tribe of Gad. And the prince of the sons of Gad, Elisaph, the son of Raguel, his forces that were numbered were 45,650. All who were numbered in the camp of Reuben were 150,450. 154,000, 151,000, excuse me, 450. They with their forces shall proceed in the second place. And then the tabernacle of witness shall be set forward, and the camp of the Levites shall be between the camps. You see what you hearing that? Right. So also they shall commence their march, each one next in order to his fellow according to their companies. The station of the camp of Ephraim shall be westward with their forces, or by the sea. And the head of the children of Ephraim, now notice that he's called the head of the children, right? But everyone else I just spoke on, I'm pretty sure Gad, the prince, Simeon, prince, Reuben, prince. Notice that there was a difference. There's a difference in the level of of how they do that. Yeah, that's how we did that as children. That's how I never forgot my directions. I always thought that was funny. But where are we at? The tribe of Ephraim, the person who's in charge, not to say that they're not considered a prince, but they weren't called the prince just then. They said the head, meaning like the captain, more or less. And here we go anyway. The station of the camp of Ephraim shall be westward with their forces, or by the sea. And the head of the children of Ephraim shall be Elisama, the son of Emiud. His forces that were numbered are 40,500. And they shall encamp, and they that encamp next shall be the tribe of Manasseh. Right, they're brothers. Only makes sense. Gamaliel, the son, whoa. And they that encamp next shall be the tribe of Manasseh. And listen to this. And the prince of the sons of Manasseh, Gamaliel, the son of Fadur, of Fadasur. Why that is so important is because it still gives a level of respect and reverence to Manasseh over Ephraim, because even though Ephraim becomes, no one from the tribe of Manasseh ever takes the throne, I don't think, but people from the tribe of Ephraim do. That's an important thing because Jacob spoke, the younger surpassing the elder onto him. But in this moment, they recognize that because they're brother tribes, literally brother tribes, right? From a brother within the tribe. I'm thinking that they said, okay, even though we're going to give the charge to Ephraim, even it's being given to Ephraim, the title of prince will not be given to him. We'll give that to Manasseh as a level of respect. Let's just keep going forward. His forces that were numbered were 32,200. Verse 22. And they that encamp next shall be the tribe of Benjamin. And the prince of the sons of Benjamin, Abidan, the son of Gadioni, his forces that were numbered were 35,400. All that were numbered of the camp of Ephraim were 108,100. They with their forces shall set out third. Now stop right here. It's a very critical thing that people can acknowledge that what's the word I'm looking for? The tribe of Benjamin, their warrior acclimate, the reason why they were so good is because of the tribe of Judah. It's because of Judah, their older brother, right? And Judah probably doesn't get the love that he deserves, right? As far as like how people actually, even people who read the scripture, I don't know if they understand, like, he's the most famous dude among the brothers. This is why he's chosen first. This is why, right? It's not just because he has the largest, it's not just because they have the most people in their tribe, right? It's their get down is way more established, you know. Now, of the last ones that we're about to read about, right? I don't believe that, I don't think that Dan is actually the oldest of them, but he is the most qualified to be in a leadership position. And note all those that were chosen: Judah, Reuben, um, Ephraim, and now Dan. This is the last one. The order of the camp of Dan shall be northward with their forces. And the prince of the sons of Dan, Achiezer, the son of Amisadai, his forces that were numbered were 62,700. And they that encamp next to him shall be the tribe of Aser. And the prince of the sons of Aser, Phagiel, the son of Ekron. His forces that were numbered were 41,500. And they that encamp next shall be the tribe of Naphtali. And the prince of the children of Naphtali, Akira, or Akira, son of Enan, his forces that were numbered were 53,400. All that were numbered of the camp of Dan were 157,600. They shall set out last according to their order. This is the number of the children of Israel, according to the houses of their families. All the numbering of the camps with their forces was 603,550. But the Levites were not numbered with them, as the Lord commanded Moses. And the children of Israel did all the things the Lord commanded Moses. Thus they encamped in their order, and thus they began their march in succession, each according to their divisions, according to the houses of their families. Now, before we break into this next one, oh my goodness. Basic logistics. You need the least amount of people to watch your back as far as towards the sea, if you actually have water towards you, because the ability of someone to actually pull all the way up on you and do something without them seeing it, highly unlikely. Now, the reason why you need the most people in the front and then the second most, if I'm not mistaken, one moment. I have to make sure that Reuben doesn't have the second most first, but I'm pretty sure Dan's forces in the north have the second most. 151,000. And the camp of Dan was 150. Yeah, okay, so right. So he's 6,000 and some change more than Reuben's camp. But the reason why is because that's your most exposed part. You want to protect your front for sure, right? To move up from your south, which would be someone going northward, right? You have high ground to them. If you're at the north, someone's coming to their south, they technically have high ground to you. You see what I'm saying? So when you do and then obviously the front of the tabernacle, this is the most important place. We will never let someone step foot in here who's not supposed to be up in here, right? So we'll die before that happens type mentality. And it doesn't seem like it's like that important, but it really is a very crucial and critical thing, because the number of the 600, where we at? 603,550 people. You got 100-some thousand here, 100-some thousand here, 100-some thousand there, 100-some thousand there, all spread around you. And it's not equally distributed. It's all based on the need and the logistical concern. Um, there's a lot of different little things about it. So when we actually look at it and we actually take it, serious, we can see that the entire setup was so that way the tabernacle could be most protected. And I'm not saying that people's families would not have been somewhere close, right? But my idea is that what I visualize, I should say, is that you see this fighting force, you just don't want to fight with them. The people are in the back with the rear with the gear, so to speak. You know what I mean? Because if you're in the front, let's say, so when you're marching forward, onward, the face of you is always Judah, so they're always point, right? And I have to break this stuff down. So Judah's always going to be the first tribe to see trouble. So you have people who go out who are your scouts, whatever, what have you. Henceforth, why it says that they're marching. So these guys are obviously marching in step. This is an organized force. I will not move on until I establish that with a serious, vehement passion. That this is an organized army. This is not a ragtag group of misfits. Okay, this is not a bunch of guys who technically don't want to be there, I guess, if you will. At this point, I think they've given in, because obviously it says they did as the Lord commanded Moses. Now we're in the 3rd chapter. We're going to read maybe 2, possibly 3 more chapters. These chapters are a little longer, but they break down. We're about to start reading about who gets what charge for the tabernacle of witness, and just listen to the numbers of the tribe of the Levites, and then how the Most High God plays his hand. Verse 1 of chapter 3. And these are the generations of Aaron and Moses in the day in which the Lord spoke to Moses in Mount Sinai. And these are the names of the sons of Aaron: Nadab, the firstborn, and Abiud, Eleazar, and Ithamar. These are the names of the sons of Aaron, the anointed priest, when they were consecrated or accomplished their hands to minister, or according to the Hebrew idiom, filled their hands. Now let's get back to reading. I just had to read the little symbol. The anointed priest whom were consecrated to the priesthood. Verse 4. And Nadab and Abiud died before the Lord when they offered strange fire before the Lord in the wilderness of Sinai. And they had no children. And Eleazar and Ithamar ministered in the priest office with Aaron, their father. And the priest spoke to Aaron. Excuse me. And the Lord spoke to Moses. I don't know why I said that. I was just seeing words. I seen priest and Aaron, and I don't know why. Anyway, excuse that. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Take the tribe of Levi, and thou shalt set them apart before Aaron the priest, and they shall minister to him, and shall keep his charges, and the charges of the children of Israel before the tabernacle of witness, to do the works of the tabernacle. And they shall keep all the furniture of the tabernacle of witness, and all the charges of the children of Israel, so as to do all the works of the tabernacle. And thou shalt give the Levites to Aaron, and to his sons the priest. They are given for a gift to me of the children of Israel. So the Most High God is establishing now that when he's saying this to Moses, he's speaking and he's saying, hey, look, you're going to take the tribe of the Levites, you're going to set them apart from everybody. And their job, their only job is to minister to Aaron, right? You know what I'm saying? And to do all of his charges, whatever he tells them to do. And then they're also in charge of upkeeping the tabernacle. So this is the job of the Levites. Give me 1 second. Now, Back to it. We're about to get to the numbering part. Verse 8. No. I lie. No, that's right. Verse 8. And they shall keep all the furniture of the tabernacle of witness and the charges of the children of Israel. So as to all the works of the tabernacle. There we go. And thou shalt give the Levites to Aaron and to his sons the priest. They are given for me. They are given for a gift to me of the children of Israel. So bam, it's breaking down right there. People cannot, you know what? It's okay. Everybody already understands. So I'm just going to keep reading. And I'll just, the complicated big words, I'll stop for that. And then everything else, right, I'll just keep to myself because everybody knows the story already. I forgot. Where was I? Verse 10. And thou shalt appoint Aaron and his sons over the tabernacle of witness, and they shall keep their charge of priesthood and all things belonging to the altar and within the veil, and the stranger that touches them shall die. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Behold, I have taken the Levites from the midst of the children of Israel. Instead of no offense, I'm not going to explain this part. I'm not going to explain this part. I promise to God I'm not. I'm going to assume everybody knows this. I have taken the Levites from the midst of the children of Israel. Instead of every male that opens the womb from among the children of Israel, they shall be their ransom, and the Levites shall be mine. For every firstborn is mine. In the day in which I smote every firstborn in the land of Egypt, I sanctified to myself every firstborn in Israel, both of man and beast. They shall be mine. I am the Lord. And the Lord spoke to Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, saying, Take the number of the sons of Levi, according to the house of their families, according to their divisions. Number ye them every male from a month old and upwards. And Moses and Aaron numbered them by the word or by the voice of the Lord, as the Lord commanded them. And these were the sons of Levi by their names, Gershon, Kohath, and Merari. And these are the names of the sons of Gershon, according to their families, Labani and Simeon. And the sons of Kohath, according to their families, Amram and Isar, Shebron and Oziel. And the sons of Merari, according to their families, Muli and Musi. These are the families of the Levites according to the house of their families. To Gershon belongs the family of Laban, of Lobini, and the family of Simeon. These are the families of Gershon. The numbering of them according to the numbering of every male from a month old and upwards, their numbering was 7,500. And the sons of Gershon shall encamp westward behind the tabernacle. And the ruler of the household of the family of Gershon was Elisaph, the son of Dale. The charge of the sons of Gershon and the tabernacle of witness was the tent and the veil and the covering of the door of the tabernacle of witness, and the curtains of the court and the veil of the door of the court, which is by the tabernacle, and the remainder of all its work. Verse 27, to Kohath belonged one division, that of Amram, and another division, that of Isar, and another division, that of Shebron, and another division, that of Oziel. These are the divisions of Kohath, according to number, every male from a month old and upward, 8,600, keeping the charges of the holy things. The families of the sons of Koth shall encamp beside the tabernacle toward the south. And the chief of the house of the families of the divisions of Koth was Eliasaphan, the son of Oziel. And their charge was the ark, and the table, and the candlestick, and all the vessels of the sanctuary wherewith they do holy service, and the veil, and all their works. And the chief over the chief of the Levites was Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest appointed to keep the charges of holy things. To Merari belonged the family of Muli, the family of Musi. These are the families of Merari. The mustering of them, according to number, every male from a month old and upward, was 6,050. And the head of the house of the families of the division of Merari was Suriel, the son of Abikel. They shall encamp on the side of the tabernacle northwards. The oversight of the charge of the sons of Merari included the chapiters of the tabernacle and its bars and its pillars and its sockets and all their furniture and their works, and the pillars of the court round about, and their bases and their pins and their cords. They that encamp before the tabernacle of witness on the east shall be Moses and Aaron and his sons, keeping the charges of the sanctuary according to the charges of the children of Israel. The stranger that touches them shall die. All the numbering of the Levites, whom Moses and Aaron, by the word of the Lord, according to their families, every male from a month old and upwards, was 22,000. It's 22,000. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, count every firstborn male of Israel. Count every firstborn male of the children of Israel, from a month old and upwards, and take the number by name. And thou shalt take the Levites for me. I am the Lord. Instead of all the firstborn of the sons of Israel and the cattle of the Levites, instead of all the firstborn among the cattle among the children of Israel. And Moses counted, and the Lord commanded him, every firstborn among the children of Israel, and all the male firstborn in number by name from a month old and upwards were according to their numbering 22,273. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, take the Levites instead of all this firstborn of the sons of Israel, and the cattle of the Levites instead of their cattle, and the Levites shall be mine. I am the Lord. Do y'all understand what's going on right there? Do you understand what's really going down? When he says that you're going to take this and give me that and keep these other things? When he's talking about the whole Passover and how that works? Is that ringing a bell to anybody? And I'm just going to keep it pushing. And the 22,273 that I just read about are not the Levites. Those are all the firstborn men children of the tribe of Israel. And out of the whole 600,000, out of the 600,000, 3,000, is it 450 or 550? Out of all of them, 22,273 of those men are firstborn men. Are from 1 month old and up are firstborn men and their families. That just gives you gravity to how big some of the families are. going forward. This next part is about money. I'll tell you about the stuff when I totally get done, and I'll break it down. Verse 46. And for the ransoms of the 273 which exceed the Levites in number of the firstborn of the sons of Israel, so the payment, thou shalt even take 5 shekels a head. Thou shalt take them according to the holy didrachum, 20 oboli to the shekel. And thou shalt give the money to Aaron and to his sons, the ransom of those who exceed in number among them. And Moses took the silver and the ransom of those that exceeded in number, the redemption of the Levites, the number redeemed by the Levites. He took the silver from the firstborn of the sons of Israel, 3,365 shekels, according to the holy shekel. And Moses gave the ransom of them that were over to Aaron and his sons by the word or by the voice of the Lord, as the Lord commanded Moses. We're about to be in chapter 4 already. Can you believe that? Right. Not even an hour in, and we've already pushed through 3 chapters. That's with me doing all my talking too. Quick thing: the oboli is like 1/10, I want to say, of a gram or whatever. So the oboli, you know what I'm saying? So to get actually 1 whole gram, you would need, I want to say, well, if you're getting 20 oboli to the shekel, because these are smaller pieces of currency. Some of it, like right here, as it just said, is it doesn't tell us exactly how much of it. It says silver, right on, but I can assume that some of it is also not silver too. That's just basic sense. You would have to look up some of these units of measurement, because some of them go so far down as to being like part of a penny. You know what I mean? So we're not going to get carried away as to how these units of measurement can be used. We'll just say, or I'll just inform you to know that what it's saying is that whatever was given to them, it says 20 oboli. Let me make sure that I got that number right. $20 oboli to the shekel. So if you don't have the shekel, I'm saying that 20 oboli is equivalent to 1 shekel. That's really what I'm trying to explain right now. More so. And then that the oboli itself is not always, this is silver. But the didrachum doesn't always have to be silver. It could be bronze, it could be gold. You see what I'm saying? So in this instance, they redeemed them with silver, right? Because it's the most common rare metal, and it's the most, like, I'm not sure if you guys know this, in commonplace value, silver holds the dollar value to the gold's hundreds of dollar value. Verse 1 of chapter 4. And they're doing all this so that way they can pay off the extra 273 people that the firstborn sons of Israel outnumber them by, because the Most High God is redeeming the Levites for himself. But since he's counted all the firstborn, he was going to have them to pay off he was going to have the Levites to pay the ransom for however much over it was. It just so happened to only be 273. But that still means that there's more firstborn men in all of the tribes, not counting Levi. There's more firstborn men in all the tribes than there is the entire tribe of grown men in the tribe of Levi. Verse 1 of chapter 4. And the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, take the sum of the children of Kohath from the midst of the sons of Levi, after their families, according to the houses of their fathers' households, from 25 years old and upward until 50 years, everyone that goes in to minister to do all the works in the tabernacle of witness. And these are the works of the sons of Kohath in the tabernacle of witness. It is most holy. And Aaron and his sons shall go in when the camp is about to move, and shall take down the shadowing veil, and shall cover with it the ark of testimony. And they shall put on it a cover, even a blue skin, and put on it above a garment all of blue, and shall put the staves through the rings. And they shall put on the table set forth for shewbread a cloth of purple, and the dishes, and the censers, and the cups, and the vessels, and with which one offers drink offerings, and continual loaves shall be upon it. And they shall put upon it a scarlet cloth. So it's saying that on the table, you're going to put the purple, on everything else, you're going to put the scarlet. And they shall cover it with the blue covering of skin, and they shall put staves into it. And they shall take a blue covering and cover the candlestick, and the light that it gives, and its lamps, and its snuffers, and its funnels, and all the vessels of oil with which they minister. And they shall put it and all its vessels into a blue skin cover, and they shall put it on its bearers, and they shall put a blue cloth for a cover on the golden altar, and shall cover it with the blue skin cover, and put it in staves. Grown men are carrying all of this, just to let y'all know. Just throw that out there. Grown men are going to be carrying everything that the tabernacle has. Everything that the tabernacle has, grown men will be carrying. So these going to have to be some big, strong fellas. And if they're not big and strong, they're going to get big and strong, because all the eating they're going to do. Verse 12. And they shall take all the instruments of service with which they minister in the sanctuary, and shall place them in the cloth of blue, and shall cover them with blue skin coverings, and put them on staves. And he shall put the covering on the altar, and they shall cover it with the cloth of all purple. And they shall put on it all the vessels with which they minister upon it, and the fire pans, and the flesh hooks, and the cups, and the cover, and all the vessels of the altar. And they shall put on it a blue cover of skins, and shall put it in its staves. And they shall take a purple cloth and cover the laver and its foot, and they shall put it into a blue cover of skin, and put it on its bars. And Aaron and his sons shall finish covering the holy things and all the holy vessels when the camp begins to move. And afterwards, the sons of Kohath shall go in to take up the furniture, but shall not touch the holy things, lest they die. These shall the sons of Kohath bear in the tabernacle of witness. Stop right there. So, It's saying that these guys are going to get close and do certain work, but the most holy of holies, the actual sons of Aaron, are going to be the ones carrying that, right? You know what I'm saying? The sons of the priest, the actual, those people will be doing that. You know, um, um, these the reason why this is so important is because these are just the families now. These are just the people who are of the tribe of Levi. Once again, I'm assuming that y'all don't know this, so I'm telling y'all this part. These gentlemen are breaking down the mobile kitchen, the mobile bathroom, and the mobile sanctuary that the priests go and minister within. No one is ever going to see the holy things. Henceforth, why the sons of the priest and the priests go in and cover everything up. And then they come in and they take out what they're ordained to take out, lest the Most High God strike them dead and kill them. Right. Now, people are like, well, why is this tribe, the smallest in number, chosen to do this? It's because it's a holy thing. It's once again, the priesthood was supposed to be royal by reason that they were smaller than everyone else. I'm assuming that y'all don't know that, so I'm telling y'all that. Right. That would have made them, that's what make them special. Right. Is that for them to have, even though they're so small in number compared to all the brother tribes who clearly have had uh, either more time to copulate and be fruitful, right? Or some of the people that are included in that would be considered people that the scripture calls strangers. Just throwing that out there. I contend most of these people are truly of the tribes, are truly of the children. Henceforth, why it points out that the woman was Israelitish and not exactly a child of Israel. You see what I'm saying? And that's a very important indicator. Otherwise, there's no such thing as Israelites. There's no such thing as anybody in the Bible. Everybody can be whatever they want, but that's not how it works. So this tribe is smaller than everybody because they've spent the least amount of time copulating, right? Or they've just spent more time trying to not have a whole bunch of children because they understand how hard it is to take care of children. Even though they're elder tribesmen and their situation would have been slightly better or better than the younger tribesmen, with the exception of Ephraim and Manasseh and Benjamin. Going forward, let's just keep reading. Verse 16. Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, is overseer, the oil of the light, and the incense of composition, and the daily meat offerings, and the anointing oil are his charge, even the oversight of the whole tabernacle, and all things that are in it, the holy place, and all the works. And the Lord spoke to Moses and Aaron, saying, Ye shall not destroy the family of Koth from out of the tribe of the midst of Levites. This do ye to them, and they shall live and not die when they approach the Holy of Holies. Let Aaron and his sons advance, and they shall place them each on his post for bearings. So they shall by no means go in to look suddenly upon the holy things and die. Another indication. The Most High God is like, look, I don't want them to die, all right, by literally seeing the holy things and dropping dead. He's like, so check this out. You're going to go in there and make sure everything is covered up the right way. Because they're the ones dealing with the holy things. So they would obviously be in the most danger of dying because they look at the holy things and do something that they're not supposed to do. There should be a level of seriousness that I hope y'all are taking from all this, that it was clearly serious to the Most High that no one, and I mean no one other than the priest, go in and be in the holy place. And yes, Moses is clearly somebody who can go up in there because he's clearly he's he's a priest, right? Verse 21. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, take the sum of the children of Gershon, and these according to the houses of their lineage, according to their families. Take the number of them from 5 and 20 years old and upwards, from the age of 50, everyone that goes in to minister, to do his business in the tabernacle of witness. This is the public service of the family of Gershon, to minister and to bear. And they shall bear the skins of the tabernacle, and the tabernacle of witness, and its veil, and the blue cover that was on it above, and the cover of the door of the tabernacle of witness. Now, did y'all notice that it said from 5 years old on up to 50? From 5. So if everybody was wondering, if anybody was wondering where that whole valuation, like how could a 5-year-old possibly pay for their own valuation or even accumulate that? These 5-year-olds clearly have the chance to do that because they're working direct. They're Levites. They didn't choose to be Levites. They were born Levites, right? You see what I'm saying? Just like people born in Judah, or just like people born in Ephraim or Manasseh, right? Any one of the tribes. But I could pick the more popular or more famous tribes, or the ones that had the most success within the kingdom of Israel, and carry that line. And I think we all understand what I'm saying going forward. 5 years old, though, right? Clearly, no child labor laws back then. Trying to make them strong. Let's keep reading. Verse 25. And they shall bear the skins of the tabernacle, and the tabernacle of witness, and its veil, and the blue cover that was on it above, and the cover of the door of the tabernacle of witness, and all the curtains of the court which were upon the tabernacle of witness, and the appendages, and all the vessels of service that they minister with, they shall attend to, according to the direction of Aaron and his sons shall be the ministry of the sons of Gershon, and all their ministries and in all their works. And thou shalt take account of them by name in all things borne by them. This is the service of the sons of Gershon in the tabernacle of witness, and their charge by the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron, the priest. Now I'm going to break something else down before we keep going. The reason why the guys have to be 25 to 50 to deal with the holies of holies is there's a level of maturity that has to be applied to it. And then, once after the age of 50, I'm not saying that that they're just not as strong, but a dude who's 50 can still be pretty fit, very, very capable, right? But after that, they start to wane, we'll say. So the Most High God is like, I don't need people who are waning. I need people who still have the ability to get down, right? And I only want so-called the best of you. Whereas this other service is still serious, not as serious, so we can allow the children to partake. So that way it's an easier service and task and something that doesn't take as much to bear. Verse 29. The sons of Merari, according to their families, according to the houses of their lineage, take ye the number of them. The number of them from 5 and 20 years old and upward until 50 years old. Everyone that goes in to perform the services of the tabernacle. No, 25, my bad. 25 to 50 is all the ages. I just read that wrong. But understand, you need serious people doing these jobs. And I'm thinking for the lightweight work, you would have a little dude carrying some stuff. But they're saying for the heavy duty, we need clearly the able bodies, people who can, You're not gonna ask a 60-year-old man or a 15-year-old a teenager, a youth, to carry pillars that between them weigh tons. It takes grown men to do that. And anybody who's ever been to the military and has ever done log training, right? Uh, it's easier when everybody's normally the same height to carry a log. That's the easiest way to do it, you know. Um, and they normally, they start, and if they don't have it like that, they go big end in the back and the little end in the front, you know. So that way the big end isn't messing over the little end. But anyhow, that's just logistics. That's just me finding myself and correcting myself. So these guys are 25 years old and up. Um, where else am I at? We know that some of these services, though, they're using the people. What's the number? Or not the people. They're using the men, I should say, little boys too, because there's only 22,000 Levites. So, and obviously some of them are little babies, but I'm speaking to the understanding of it. 25 years old to 50, and then clearly the stuff that doesn't take uh, heavy lifting, you pass on down. Where are we at? The sons of Merari, according to their houses, according to their families, according to the houses of their lineage. Take ye the number of them. Take the number of them from 5 and 20 years old and upwards until 50 years old. Everyone that goes in to perform the service of the tabernacle of witness. And these are the charges of the things borne by them according to all their works in the tabernacle of witness. They shall bear the chapiters, the little, the top of a column. Those are the ones that are adorned in the silver, gilded in silver. They shall, where we at? They shall bear the chapiters and the bars and its pillars and its sockets and the veil, and there shall be their sockets and their pillars and the curtains of the door of the tabernacle, and they shall bear the pillars of the court round about, and there shall be their sockets, and they shall bear the pillars of the veil of the door of the court, and their sockets, and their pins, and their cords, and all their furniture, and all their instruments of service. Take ye number by name, and all the articles of the charge of them born, and all the articles of the charge of the things borne by them. There we go. This is the ministration of the family of the sons of Merari, and all the works and all their works in the tabernacle of witness by the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron, the priest. And Moses and Aaron and the rulers of Israel took the number of the sons of Kohath according to their families, according to the house of the lineage, from 5 and 20 years old and upwards to the age of 50, everyone that goes in to minister and to do service in the tabernacle of witness. And the numbering of them according to their family was 2,750. This is the numbering of Kohath. So 2,750. This is the numbering of the family of Kohath. Everyone that ministers in the tabernacle of witness of Moses, and Aaron numbered them by the word of the Lord by the hand of Moses. And the sons of Getzim were numbered to the families according to their families, according to the house of their lineage, from 5 and 20 years old upward until 50 years old. Everyone that goes in to minister to do the services, and the numbering of them to their families according to the house of their lineage was 2,630. This is the numbering of the sons of Getzim, everyone that ministers in the tabernacle of witness, whom Moses and Aaron numbered by the word of the Lord by the hand of Moses. and whom also and also the family of the sons of Merari were numbered according to the number, according to their divisions, according to the house of their fathers, from 5 and 20 years old and upward to 50, everyone that goes in to minister to the services. The number of them according to their families, according to the house of the lineage, was 3,200. Stop right there for a second. These are the people who are actually going in and doing stuff. Okay? It's not, I can't stress to you enough. That's not every able body of the Levites. You know what I'm saying? But these are the people who are most able to do the heaviest lifting. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much you guys think a pillar weighs or a chapter weighs, right? Or a column, but those things aren't light. So the lightweight stuff, the small stuff, right? And also you need people who can carry all the belongings of everyone else's things. So still, once again, your little kids are going to have to get real strong because, right, while their dad is in the tabernacle doing whatever, sure, you might have a mom, but big brother, little sister, big sister, they all got to pull the weight to do everything else. Because, right, sister, but for the Levites, but for the Levites in general, I'm trying to stress that because they were so small, everything was more difficult, clearly more difficult. It was hella hard work. Excuse my language. It was excruciatingly painful, and this is why I couldn't stress enough before when I read about the tabernacle of witness and excuse that the little mishap. There's a reason why I stress like, yo, they weren't just uprooting the tabernacle of witness there's no way that you believe that the tabernacle of witness was being broke down and set up every day. That alone is that's absurd, you know. And we'll read all the way through chapter 6, and I think I'm going to stop at that point. I may actually stop before that because we're about to stop the numbering. We're about to actually stop the number. Give me 1 second. I actually might get ready to stop here in a moment and call it a day with this at the end of this chapter, and then I'll have to just plan to do so. I've already read. I'm technically up to like chapter 12, right? I've read further ahead, but where I'm comfortable with what I understand right now is like chapter 12. So we're not going to get too far ahead, but these next few ones don't have anything to do with the mustering of the numbers, and it would break the point of all hands on deck. So we're not going to break the point of all hands on deck. We're just going to finish this part out, and then we're going to stop. Okay. Let's read about Merari. And also, the family of the sons of Merari were numbered according to their divisions. This is verse 42. According to the house of their fathers, from 5 and 20 years old and upward till 50 years old. Everyone that goes in to minister in the services of the tabernacle of witness. The numbering of them according to their families, 3,200. This is the numbering of the sons of Merari, whom Moses and Aaron numbered by the word of the Lord. All that were, who were numbered by the word of the Lord by the hand of Moses. Verse 46. All that were numbered when Moses and Aaron and the rulers of Israel numbered, namely the Levites, according to their families, according to the house of the lineage, from 25 years old to 50 years old, from 25, from 5 and 25, from 5 and 20 years old and upward to 50 years old, everyone that goes in to do the service or work of the works and the charge of the things that are carried in the tabernacle of witness, and they that were numbered were 8,580. Now, that sounds like a bunch of people. I forget how many pillars and how many posts. I forget how many hundreds of meters some of these skins are, right? I forget like how much they're going to actually weigh because this is animal skin. I mean, this is hard work. And then everything that they own is shouldered off into their families. So now your families have to do all the work that you do normally, right? When you're not carrying the tabernacle of witness through the wilderness, right? All that work that those men normally do, now someone else has to do. Right. This is another reason why it's so important that folks understand the concept of a stranger and the reason why you weren't supposed to own anybody. Also, why the Most High God encouraged the people to multiply, right? To be fruitful, as it said. But He's saying that I want there to be enough of you to be able to do what it is I'm going to ask you to do. Now, the fact that the Levite priesthood is so small, there's a sense of prestige, I guess. Verse 49. He reviewed them by the word of the Lord, by the hand of Moses, appointing each man severally over their respective work and over their burdens. And they were numbered as the Lord commanded Moses. Stop right there. It's hard for people to really put that in their minds. Okay? That 8,000, how many is it again? 8,580. So 8,580 people can do all the work at that one time. Now, sure, you're gonna assume the number is gonna naturally go up, right? That's just the natural assumption. So there's gonna be more people over time to do these works. It won't be as hard, won't be as difficult. But people still get old, and they're in a tribe that notoriously has. I'm pretty sure everybody knew that Levi had the least amount of children. But this is one of those things where I'm going to jump forward. I'm going to time travel in the scripture because we're done reading this. We're done reading the scripture. So let's just talk about it for a moment. All hands on deck, right? I know people are going to want to say, and I'll jump to the future in a second. I know people are going to want to say, Meech, you don't think that some of these guys aren't mixed blooded? And I'm like, sure, some of the dudes who are of the other tribes might be, but the Levites, I believe, just based on the size of their tribe, they're pure blood. I know that's hard to believe. Why that's a crucial factor? I believe that's why the Most High God chose Levi, is because unlike Judah, right, who his youngest son of his first union is partially Canaanitish. We can assume that Judah blood mixed probably with the Egyptians while he was in Egypt. And obviously people from the tribes mixed with one another. That's where the numbers more than likely increase from the most. Now, having said that, it just seems to me that Levi did his best. The people of Levi did their best to keep tribe continuity the best they could. Now, why that might not have been a big deal in Egypt, the Most High God sees everything. And he chose a man of the least tribe, elder tribesman, but of the least tribe. And why this is so important is because Hannah, or Anna, the mother of one Samuel, she's known for the prayer. She's the one who says that the Most High God, you know, makes someone to live and makes someone to die. Right on. And she also makes note in this prayer that the Most High God can lift one up from the dunghill. And if you don't know what the dunghill is where people throw the excrement from their body. Okay. Having said that, she's saying that the Most High God can lift one up from that point, from that position. Well, as elder tribesmen, being from a tribe that is compared to the other tribes that are younger tribesmen, you have laughable numbers, truly laughable numbers. That's okay, though, right? That's okay. Because the Most High God did something with the least tribe, right? With the tribe that I guess you could almost even contend they might have even been the least popular. And in this tribe, not only do they deliver the people out of their hardcore servitude and bondage, right? Their slavery. This tribe, this group, led by two brothers who is pretty much following the direction of one of them, because that one brother he's been chosen by the Most High God to do just what he's doing. So what happens is you have the least tribe in number. Once again, we could contend they're the least popular. Save the entire tribe, save the entire nation of people from being second-class citizens. Now, this same tribe, this same man, why it's actually a very vital thing that we look at their royalty, right? So this is why the Most High God spoke what he spoke in the commandments about if a daughter of the priest were to go a-whoring, how she's to be set on fire. And if she's to go out and to be with a stranger, right? If she's to give him children, she's to be cut off, so to speak. People are like, Meech, why is that so important? It's because the numbers is what made them royal. There's less of you. There's a level of prestige in that. Okay? The Navy SEALs aren't the Navy SEALs because everybody can be one. All right? They are they're almost a military within the military. If you really break down how special the Navy SEALs are, and certain units within the military are compared to their allies and their counterparts. The Levites were like that. They were like a nation within a nation because they had managed to maintain continuity of genetic structure, so much so that there's no need for any of them to have to worry about being killed or dying for being a stranger, i.e. Ephraim, i.e. Manasseh, i.e. once again, children of Benjamin, children of who is it? Who's the brother? Children of Simeon. A whole bunch of these dudes had children coming out of Canaan going into Egypt that were already blood mixed. Okay? So the situation only compounded itself. This is a major thing. Seems like it's not nothing to anybody. Once again, I might seem like I'm being rude or whatever, right? And I might have been out of step to say that 5 year that the 5 years old or whatever were actually in the tabernacle. But still, it doesn't change the fact that little boys would have to work hard once their fathers have to work in the tabernacle. Changes none of that. Having said that, though, the same people that have to go into this tabernacle to do this job, they all have to be pure blood. That was the whole point of the priesthood. This is why in the book of the Chronicles, when it shows us just how off the priest fell, and then when you get into like the book of Nehemiah and stuff like that, right? And and you start to break down those prophets, right? They really show us what really happened. And this royal lineage, this strict, stout bloodline, became watered down as their other brethren and sistren. So much so that the faith was not kept. Because at the highest level, once again, I think about it, it's appropriate, it is germane that an elder tribesman would maintain gene continuity. That's a major thing. Now, people can contend with me, Meech, didn't you say that most of the blood mixing happened within the tribe? Yes, I did say that. Having said that, that means that the Levites, I could contend, have everyone in the Levites' bloodline right then and there who are going to be doing the works are completely Semitic all the way. They have not a drop of Canaanite blood, not a drop of Egyptian blood flowing through their bodies. That's an important thing. That's an important thing. I know it seems like it's nothing to everybody, but I'm just like, yo, the scripture, the Bible, Genesis is about genealogy and genetics. The whole scripture itself is about genetics. The rules that we're reading about are so that way people don't corrupt themselves genetically. Come on now. But because this is overlooked, all hands on deck is not looked at as something that it's an all hands on deck notion. So the Most High God is not worried about how many Moabites or Ammonites are with the children of Israel, right on? Because they're not children of Israel. He's not worried about how many Egyptians are with them. He's not worried about how many Syrians, okay? He's not worried about how many Edomites, right? That's not what he's worried about. His concern, just the way that it looks, are the people who have the most clear-cut lineage that can be dated back, and their physical appearance does not betray, once again, the lineage that they're supposed to have. i.e., if they're born and through the course of their life, I need people to understand, if through the course of this person's life, they don't develop certain physical features that would otherwise be on any person on earth. I want you to think about this. We can go back to the book of the Genesis and we can get back to chapter 10. Every race of the people, or the direct sons of Noah, I should say, and their children, with exclusion to the Gentiles, because the Gentiles get bred in by Japheth, Sem, and Ham. With the exclusion to the Gentiles, all of these people looked exactly the same. So the fact that the Most High God, this is my point. The Most High would not have told us things that did not apply to us. For example, a man's hair, right? Which we're going to read about in the next 2 chapters. You know, the law of the Nazarite. He's supposed to allow his hair to become full and even. It says long, when you read it regularly, right? But when you read the symbol by the word, it says even. And I'm like, well, not saying that my hair is completely perfectly even, but the evenness of our hair and the texture of hair that most Afro people have is far more level than the hair of a person who has, let's say, straight hair. You get what I'm saying? This is why they're always getting their ends cut so that way their hair looks even. Whereas our hair's formation holds a far more symmetrical look. It looks more even just based on when your two eyes look at it. Right on? Not like, oh, if we measured your head, would one side of your hair be a whole centimeter longer or something like that than the other? That's not what I'm going into, just based on happenstance. That's one of those little things, right? But if we go back to, once again, the laws of the leopard, right? Or forget the fact that you can get white skin, become a full-blown white skin person and be considered clean, even though if you get a blotch, you're considered dirty. The tetters, the burst, right? We've all seen black people who have what are called tetters in the scripture, which are those bright spots on their skin that look different. Right on? And you can be as light as, I'll say, like high yellow pretty much. You can't be an albino black person and technically get tetters that can be seen because they'll be bright white spots then. But if you're a light-skinned black person, you could get tetters and they would be able to be seen because they would still pop up as like white spots on your skin. Once again, y'all, that is something that has to do with your genetics. That's not anything else. Word? So when we get to the all hands on deck understanding, we need to understand that every single one of those Levite priests grows a beard. Every single one of the people of all 600,000, 550 or 450, all those dudes are bearded. All of them. I know that's hard to believe for people, but I'm like, you don't think there's 600,000 bearded black men in America right now who grow afros? Are you serious? There's not at least 600,000 of us? And beard formation be slightly different based on here in this country, based on who people have bred with. But back then, their beard formations would have been far more similar and far more resemblant of. So, for example, when you see the pictures and it shows the little Hebrew dudes with the bags over their back, right? They all have the same beard and the same hair because they all have the same genetics. Word? That's why they all look the same. When you see the pictures of the Chaldeans, and the Chaldeans' hair is super long, like their hair is so long in the back, it's literally like down to their shoulders. Where these are black people with long hair and beards growing all the way out. You know what I'm saying? These people all look the same. What's happening, bro? You know, and once again, whatever you want to call gene variants, none of that stuff existed until, well, first off, really until the Gentiles took full root in the Mediterranean circuit of Earth, and not just all the other places and all the other land masses, but in the Mediterranean circuit where the children of Adam had lived their lives. So when the Gentiles finally become a part of what we consider everyday life, and the blood mixing with them starts, and people start pulling out their hair and their beards because their daughters and their sons are sleeping with part animal things, it kind of doesn't change. It doesn't help the fact that there's bearded and non-bearded Gentiles. You see what I'm saying? That 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 really does hurt people's understandings. And then more so, if you guys could appreciate this, this is not me knocking. This is not me knocking black people at all. But we have to realize that once again, most of the ancestors were illiterate. Why that's so important, why that means so much? Well, number one, that means that these men and these women don't have the same understanding that you and I would have. Like, for example, we have literacy, so we can read signs. They wouldn't be able to do most of those. Most of our ancestors could not read or write. I don't know if y'all really understand that. You know, most white people who came to this country couldn't read or write, couldn't read and write. You know what I'm saying? Only those from the aristocracy could read and write. Normally. So, you know, like you have to be from the clergy, like you have to be from an important part of society, an important facet of society. The Levites would have been taught to read and write by happenstance because they have to relate the law to the people. Anyone who could have been a scribe or would have been told to be a scribe would have had to learn to be literate. Most of your scribes, though, would have been your priest when you first start. This is all very, very vital because we put too much responsibility on a group of people who, in my humble opinion, are learned people with foolish tendencies. I say that like this. A person can read the Bible. They can relate that the Bible says don't eat pork. They can ignore that. They can read in a scientific journal that it tells you that eating pork raises your blood pressure, gives you chances for hypertension, diabetes, all these things, right? Look, follow me. They can read and write, and they can process the information. But because they don't understand that they never had these tools at their disposal before, that they don't realize that it's purposeless for you to know how to read. It's pointless for them to know how to read because they know how to read, but they don't know how to apply what they're reading. You see what I'm saying? They know how to write, but they don't know how to actually put something on. Knowing, once again, this is why the book of Enoch says that men were never supposed to use ink and paper, right? And the book of Enoch says that men never were supposed to use ink and paper. This is why the laws are etched in stone, because ink and paper can be erased, right? And you can change your mind. If you put it in stone, the only thing you can do is destroy it. You cannot change what is written in stone. This is why they say it's not written in stone, because they mean to say that it's not mandate. Right. So because it's not mandate, you don't actually have to do it because it can be changed and manipulated. We live in a world where people do not understand. There were 8,500 and some change able-bodied of the Levites. I can contend to you, most of those men were not literate. That's all hands on deck. Out of the 600,000 plus men, right? 600 some odd thousand, some hundred men. I can guarantee to you, most of those men were illiterate. Facts. This is a fact. This is why one man, Moses, is telling everybody everything. I don't know if people can really truly grasp that concept that the ability of language does not require literacy. Did you hear me? Did y'all catch that, Jim, as I threw it out there? Because if you didn't, let me throw it out there one more time. Because I got a whole bunch of those same ones. Language does not require literacy. I know that's hard for folks to believe, but you were speaking English before you could write your name, before you could spell your name, you could say your name. Huh? No? See, one of these days, they're going to eventually realize that they only know what they know because there's been an influx and an overload of information that would otherwise not be available. With the presence of this information, it has not changed the poor behavior mechanisms within individuals, i.e., our people. Even though black people know that the white man brought in the dough, they still sell it. Come on. Hear me now. I'm not here to preach to you. I'm here to talk to you. And I'm trying to relate something so that way you can see and understand. They can read and understand that it's against the law, okay, to own certain types of weapons. They own them anyway. See, language does not mean you have literacy. And literacy within a given language does not mean you understand. This is why all hands on deck is so important. Because through all the time that they've been in the wilderness, I know in Moses' downtime, he's had to, if his brother Aaron can't already read, he's had to teach Aaron how to, he's teaching him how to do these types of things. Right. Right. Joshua grew up as an Ephrathite. Some of the Ephrathites and some of the children of Manasseh might be literate, but most of them, I assume not, even if they grew up prestigious and all that. Literacy was only something that people who were reading documents needed. Right. Right. So there's just this, I have this overwhelming feeling that people are underwhelmed by what I'm saying right now. And that's okay. Let them be underwhelmed. And I'm not saying that to y'all. I'm saying that to the people who are going to come and listen later, because they're going to listen and then disagree within their own minds because they can, not because they're right. Once again, just because they're literate doesn't mean they understand anything. They can read words on a page. They can speak words. They can hear the sounds, the frequencies, the vibrations, and they can make out what they heard. They can make sense of it, yet they still choose to do what is not right. I need y'all to understand this. When I pointed out that from a certain age, so 25 and up, 25 to 50, right? Peak years of a man are the years that they're allowing people to work in the tabernacle. Okay, so that means that everybody older than that, everybody younger than that, has to pick up the slack for everything that belongs to them. That's 8,500 some odd men. Okay, how much do you think they own? Like what like you see what I'm saying? Like all that responsibility falls onto someone, not no one. Right. You can't have strangers around because they'll die. So that means that you trying to go get servants, it's not gonna happen. Right on. A Hebrew isn't technically a stranger, but I could claim that they're strangers because the Ammonites and the Moabites are Hebrew people. They're Semitic speaking people. Yet there's scripture that would bonify those two races as strangers. So I I just feel differently about it. And I look at it glass half full, not glass half empty, you know. Um, but the Levites, they messed up everything. They messed it all up. And the more we read, we're going to start to kind of read about the degradation of the character before we even get into the promised land. We're going to start to read about these things. And they're small things, but they're large things. They're things that people we can all read here, but it doesn't mean we all understand. And I'm trying to relate to you what I've understood or what I haven't understood, you know. Yeah, no, bro, that's exact what you just said. I hope people last the whole however long I'm gonna be spitting this. What you just said is everything, bro. You have no idea. I'm not sure you realize the power in that statement. I'm not sure. You may realize the power in that statement. That that statement is worth 10,000 words and a few tons of gold, bro. That statement alone right there is worth is an invaluable statement that you just made. That's one of the key reasons, bro. But I've said things like that before that people reading and literacy is not a necessity. Reading, writing's not natural. None of that stuff is natural, brother. Right. I don't have to talk. I don't have to write to know how to talk. You see what I'm saying? Right? You see what I'm saying? So there's a level of how do I say this? There's a level of comfort we can all have on earth with foreign or just unnatural entities. Kind of like cutting down trees and building stuff out of it, right? That doesn't come natural to everyone. Those aren't skills that every person has. Um, um, Henceforth, when the tabernacle of witness was being put together, there were two men from two tribes in particular who were chosen to do all the things because they had the most understanding and the most skill and the most know-how. Probably two guys who were, peak age, not too old, but but older, but still peak age. Um, had enough substance to be able to give to the cause, and they clearly were servitile in Egypt. You know what I mean? But here's the thing, though, bro. Once again, you don't have to read to get the message. Word? And just like you said, you understand, you just don't like doing it. I assume you just don't like reading. I'ma say, right? And not that you just don't like doing the rules that are written. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. You know, a sucker butt would assume you meant the laws, but I know what you're saying, brother. Having said that, I agree with you. I don't think I love to read so much as it is the information that I thrive to know. It's there's no one person that has all the information that's willing to give it to you for free. Come on, follow me now. Now, the Most High God, He gave the people the information, but He taxed them for it in His own ways. You see what I'm saying? He said, yeah, let me get all that gold, all that silver. Let me get all these things that y'all got, all that fine linen, all that scarlet, right? You see what I'm saying? Right? The blue and the purple. I need everything. You see what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm saying this is because most of the guys like, first off, I rescued you and I saved you. But secondly, I've given divine wisdom, knowledge, and instruction to one man named Moses. And he's relaying this divine wisdom, knowledge, and instruction to y'all. Right on? That cost something. The fact that you understand, though, brother, right, means that you don't need to read. See, this is the deep part. If you have understanding, what do you need to see that you can't hear? Follow what I'm saying. Do you need to be able to read to see the law on paper to verify that the law that Moses is giving you is in fact and indeed the law itself? Or will you take Moses at his word that the law that he's giving you, that is percolating through your ears, is in fact what you are supposed to do? Because that's the difference, my brother. That is the true difference maker. That is what sets you apart from a man who can understand, who is unwilling to obey, from a man who can understand, who is willing to conform. Come on. And this goes with women and with children. It's not just applied to men, you know. But I'm just saying, bro, I don't mind reading so much, so I'll read. But it is one of the reasons why I do get bent out of shape, because I'm not sure how aware the people, the so-called diaspora, is of this of this incident, of this happening. Because what I'm pretty much seeing, what I'm pretty much experiencing from people is they're saying, like, Meech, we get that people couldn't read and write, but we can read and write. And I say, well, that's fine. But with all the reading and the writing that you've been able to do, you're no more learned as a people collectively than you were 50 years ago. And for all the underhanded and backbiting that they do about the ancestors, about their level of so-called intellect, they had skills, tangible, ready skills and trades that they could deploy at a moment's notice to gather a substance. Whereas you have many of people who can read, who can write, but don't know how to use a saw, don't know how to use hammer and nails, don't know how to use a wrench properly. You understand? Don't know how to use pliers or vice grips, right? Or Allen wrenches or anything of the sort. They don't. Nothing I said takes a battery to operate. You see what I'm saying? They don't know how to use a post hole digger, right? A tamperer. No thing. But they can read and write. So I mean, if we're going to levy or give to or lend to, in this particular case, the credit and the ability of literacy to this entire generation, let's say, and the last, let's just say my entire generation of millennials and a majority of Gen Xers can read and write. Let's just say that right there. And before that, baby boomers too can read and write. They have these skills, most of them, not all of them. And baby boomers is like the last generation of like that 50-50 throw up. Like, you know, we all have uncles and aunties who can barely read and write. If you're older than me, you probably, you know what I'm talking about. Some people have parents who couldn't read or write. You know, my Uncle Clay, God rest his soul. The man could lay concrete. He could do everything. He could build a house from the ground up. He couldn't read. So what? You see what I'm saying? But listen, even though he couldn't read, that man told me to my face. He said, nephew, he said, we the children of Israel. He said, I always believed that since I was a little boy. He said, since I first heard the Bible, I always thought we were the children of Israel. That's what a grown man told me who could not read, y'all. He understood that. So, brother, when you tell me that you understand, I appreciate. I understand what you're saying, bro. And I have nothing but love and respect for that. Really, really, I do. You know, I know my tone doesn't always sound like I'm on the same page with people, but I really do be on the same page. I try my best to maintain like that, you know. I appreciate that, brother Humble. You know, it's it's a blessing to do all the different little things that people get to do, you know. And I'll throw it out there. Uh Possibly the most underrated skill that a person can learn, and it's a life skill, it's cooking. Yeah. That's A. But you need that type of stuff. You got to be able to work, man. You got A. Man, you can build your own fence. You can do your own, you can do everything you need to if you have the right tools yourself. Especially if you have the time and the resources, you can really do it yourself. And you know, God willing, you have an extra set of hands that are willing to help you, then it happens even that much easier. So, but this is what I'm trying to say though, brothers and sisters, is that we all can appreciate that thought. It's a thought that can be appreciated, and it's not a complicated thing. It's just frustrating that we have so many brothers and sisters who know that this is not a lie, right? Who know there are brothers who have never changed their own tire, never, ain't never tried to change the oil, ain't never tried to change the spark plug, ain't never tried to do nothing, y'all. Don't even know how. Right on? You know, that's right, sister. Got to start early. But I'm just saying, imagine all the people who can type on a computer who have never, I mean never worked a whole day's work in their life, really. They don't know what that's like. And they believe in this so-called technological thing, right? The future. But the funny part is that it took a real human being with 2 hands and 2 feet to build the abode that they're living in. It took a human being to build the technology that they're using to make a living. Right. So I always find that weird. You know, it's like there's guys who are technicians who are not software savvy. I would rather be a technician who's not software savvy than a person who's software savvy and has no tech skills. You can't fix your own problems technically. Really, you can't, because it's nothing to just wipe off all the information and then re-upload everything. It's a whole other thing when you have to take out hard drives. Like I had to order a used laptop because my my stuff is just too destroyed. You know what I'm saying? The situation is just too messed up. You know what I mean? It's just and I don't know if it's the motherboard. I don't have the device. I don't want to spend the $30 just to get this piece just to test my motherboard. So I might as well just get another laptop that works and then just swap out some parts and call it a day. And if I need to change a part out, I'll know what's good or bad then if I need to change that part. Anyway, stuff like that, you know. Um, I'm waiting right now for a little job to go do some cooking stuff, but I've been trying to stay busy trying to do other things. I could have had a job doing some floor work, but it was just a little too far from me, too far from my taste. Yeah, sister. I tried to tell him. I tried to tell him, right? I did try. I really did try. You know, to try to get a hobby that's a skill that people need that they can use to get paid from. And right now, I'm learning certain skills, brushing up on them and getting better on them because I'm realizing you're going to need to be able to do everything yourself. You're going to need to be able to fix your own car. You're going to need to be able to you're funny. You need to be able to fix your own car. You need to be able to fix things in your home. You need to be able to do things yourself. You know, y'all are too funny, man. Listen, okay. Let me take it slow, one thing at a time. All right, let me address young brother Martin, bro. I have been through some painful situations that have humbled me to the degree that I know I was humbled. But it didn't break me, brother. And because it didn't break me, it gave me the chance to really get all the way into my mind and deep thought. You know what I'm saying, young brother? If it doesn't break you, it really does help you, man. I'm not going to say it makes you physically stronger or mentally strong or anything like that, but I do think it makes you a better person when it does not break you, you know. And that's an asset. And I just share with people the things that I've learned from not being broken. Now let me just hit this up. So okay, so look, 52-year-old tenant, and my brother JP Hope. I'm glad you didn't. I'm not gonna say waste your time like I did with computers because it's not a waste of time. It's just you can learn more about computers now than you ever could before, and you don't really need. You don't have to be super savvy to take a computer apart if you watch a video enough times. You don't have to be savvy to do none of that. You need to be a little savvy to do some soldering, but I mean, none of that stuff is that hard. You know, you're blessed, brother, to have worked with your hands and to have gotten skills with your hands. And you're right, sister. Nothing is fair. But that teacher though, right? Who learned the skill they learned was information to relay to other people. That's what a teacher does. And I feel for them because information is invaluable, but they learned the wrong things. For example, every teacher should have a physical trade. So, yes, I teach biology, but I also know how to do cement work. Yes, I'm a math teacher, but I also know how to be an electrician. Yes, I'm your health and wellness teacher, but I'm also a part-time construction laborer who does the framing and the roofing and the sidings for houses, right? It's because that teacher probably doesn't have a skill of equal value of equal value to the same caliber that they have in their teaching. They can't fall back on that, you know. And there's no way, sister, I could have predicted that you would have fallen into I'm not going to say a good financial situation, but one that I don't see it getting destabilized for the next year or so. Uh, um, so I'm saying that I'm not a psychic. I ain't no prophet. I'm not none of that. If I was a prophet, right? The people didn't listen. Can you dig that? You know what I mean? If I was one and I didn't give them exact dates and times so they could wave their fist at that. But I'm not, that's not my job to give people dates and times. My job is to tell them what I see based on what the information is telling us. And you know what? It's okay. I will play the role of a blind squirrel and be right only twice a day if I'm right about it where it matters most. Come on. Come on. I will be the blind squirrel and the broken clock. That means I'm going to get it right 4 times in a day. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? And every other hour, all other 20 hours, I could be all the way wrong. But for 4 hours in the day, I'm going to be dead on. And if you just wanted to be technical with the parts of the day, because there's technically 18 parts, you know, if I'm only good for 3 parts of the day, that's all good. Because my 3 parts are going to be some powerhouse parts. And I could be wrong about everything else. That's fine by me. It's not fine by other people. But I'm not going to put you in a position to lose your life, to lose your finances, to lose your well-being, to lose your health. I don't think I've ever encouraged anybody to do anything that could actually get them hurt. You know, um, I don't even tell y'all to follow your dreams. I tell you to make realistic goals that you can keep, right? That are applicable to the circumstances in your life. All hands on deck, brothers and sisters. That this is a blessing to be able to speak to y'all because once again, I have a feeling that one day there might be a person who says to the Most High in their judgment, Father, there was never anyone that ever said this. And he can pull up these little videos like this. He can just pull up the image and be like, just listen for the next 30 seconds and just send them all away. Because they're going to claim that nobody ever read the first 5 books, Modern Time. I know it. I know it. They're going to be like, nobody ever read those, Father God, for me to ever hear them. I'm doing it right now. I have been silently sounding my trumpet all year. And before the year is done, I will have sounded it completely aloud. And there will be no excuses. There will be no stones left unturned. There will be no thoughts left unventured that we do not take, that we don't delve off into just for a moment. As far as what I know is most important. When I say I assume you guys already know that, because sometimes I actually do assume. I'm literally not trying to be facetious. I'm like, I'm gonna assume you know that because I've been talking about the same things for so long. If I bring it up, you'll be like, oh, that's what he's talking about. He ain't talking about nothing. Right. Did anybody know this? I don't know how long. I know Martin for sure knows this. Tammy, you might know this. Hmm. Well, I am showing up glad. I'm showing up glad, sister. But did y'all know And this is a serious thing that we need to take into consideration about where we stand with our lives, right? When this is all read and said and done, there's going to be more people who fall out of joint with the scripture. You guys are gonna. It's. I don't think it's a coincidence that the further I get into this, the crazier the events get. I don't think it's a coincidence that the Most High God made me to put it off until this year and to start it this year. I don't think it's a coincidence that I told the people last year to look out for March. For whatever reason, I just felt it. And this was before the corona. This was before Wuhan. This was before all that. And I felt it. I just felt something. I was, March. And in March, the novella, the novella coronavirus became a thing. Big thing. It has turned people's lives upside down. Black people, us, we've survived doing what we've been doing this whole time. There's nothing, only a few things have changed. And for some of us, I'm not going to say it's gotten better, but the finances have gotten more consistent. That's not a bad thing. But the end, my brothers and sisters, the further I get into that book, the more I feel like they're getting closer to something terrible. Y'all do realize we knocked down there's only 36 whole chapters in the book of the Numbers. Only 36. We knocked down 5 of them today or 4 of them today. My next time reading, I'll probably knock down 6 or 7. It depends on the criteria. But you see what I'm saying? Then what? We'll be 10 in, 26 more chapters to go. Then I do another one, and then 20 more chapters to go, and then I do another one. Then we're down to 14, 15, 13, something like that. You see, you guys get where I'm going with this? How long do you think it's going to take me? August is still here. We will for sure be getting at least 1, if not 2 more of these done before this month is up. But I know for a fact we're going to get 1 more done. In the month of September, we're going to knock out the book of the Numbers. Then we got October, November, and December to kill Deuteronomy. Not to kill it, but to get it out the way. This is my point that I'm trying to make, y'all. I have never felt so on point about the things that I've said. Like some of the things that I've said to y'all, I have never felt so confident about. That toe-to-toe, still coming. Still coming. Look, they've been doing this Operation Legend thing, locking all kinds of folks up. The only way I see them not getting all their heads split in half is pretty much so many people getting booked in the next 2. So many people have to get arrested by October that they literally arrest most people who do the killing are the same people who do the killing. Right on? Murdering, whatever you want to call it, right? But the people who take lives, it's normally the same people in the neighborhood. It's almost never random acts of violence. So you got one guy who's killed 50 people walking around. I do too, bro. I do too. But what I'm talking about right now has a lot to do with that, and I'll tie it in. You got these cats walking around here, right? Who sell dope to their own people, do this, that, and the other. And their heart is not in it to the Most High God, right on? They don't love him with their heart, and they darn sure don't love him in their mind. But they But your mouth can say anything. Come on. Because your mouth can say anything. They can say hallelujah and then go out there and sell dope. While they got swine chop juice all on their lips, gonna go sell crack cocaine to their people and think they're a hero because people who don't know any better look up to them and worship them. Right. So we need people like that to fall away, to move away. We need people like that who have had this false sense of security from the Most High God to totally go astray and to leave him. We need them to leave, brother. We need for the energy of the most sincere, the most earnest-hearted people. We need for their prayers to be heard. We need for their affirmations at the highest levels to be recognized. That's right, sister. Weed out the rebels. Because they want to do everything that they want to do. And they don't want to do what's right. And I'm not perfect. Once again, I'm not perfect. So I can understand how a person would say, well, who are you to say this, that, and the other? I'm the same brother who told the entire world that Pangea, a continent that was of the greatest mass, and it was all the so-called continents that we know of now connected into one in the scripture. I'm the same knucklehead who told people that a person who looks opposite of us from the scripture determined that that's where genealogy and genetics came from, right from the Bible. I might not be, and there's a bunch of other little things. I could keep going down the list of little things that I've done. I might not be important to them because they don't realize the gravity or the gravitas of what I've said and how many different people have taken the things that I've said and gone one way with it or gone another with it. I'm going to say this right here, y'all, and then I'm going to leave out on this note. I want y'all to really think about this. If I had never clicked onto what I thought was a man who was surely suffering from madness, if I hadn't listened to what he was saying and realized that the man wasn't mad at all, the brother was I assume he's still alive and breathing. The brother is just confounded because he has allowed for his wisdom to cloud his judgment. Not to say that he need to tap into being wicked, but he would have to contend the thought of a wicked person to understand why it is that they are the way that they are, as opposed to the base presumptuous notion that this is who they are because they are this way. The brother, once again, baptized a scribe. If I had never listened to the brother, I could contend that I would know most of the things that I know right now, would not have shared them with anyone. That's the crazy part. And I contend that if I had never shared some of the things that I had shared from all those years ago, I know it seems crazy, y'all. But if I had never put forth some of this information, the current atmosphere would be totally different. Everything would be different. You know what I'm saying? Everything would be different. I spoke up to a lot of different things. But the thing that Brother Scribe put me on that led me to the conclusion of strange children, and nobody ever, y'all probably don't realize that has been the catalyst of my entire argument, is that strange children brought down Israel. And it was something like this. It was him contending that Adam and Eve were not, in fact, the first people. And I don't know if he was, I don't know who he got that from, because there's people who say it already. I don't know if he came across that on his own. But that led me to go into the understanding of, okay, the first people are different, so they have a different genetic structure. So I went on this journey, this adventure almost, because it didn't seem like it had a real journey has an end point. The adventure, you're just wandering around, it seems like. And it felt like an adventure for a long time, because I couldn't get to where I was going until I realized that the entire basis of the scripture was about genetics. I need y'all to understand this. I have made my discoveries because I have been so enthralled by genetics. I know it's shallow. I had to share that with y'all before I rolled out. I know that sounds shallow, but literally, I was so caught up in the strange children thing that I had to prove that people having babies, men and women having babies with people that weren't the people, was the reason why we're at where we're at now. And the closer we get to the end, these people keep talking about a so-called race war and this, that, and the other. They can't have it both ways. They can't tell me out of one side of their neck that we can make it better and we can live in this land, and then tell me out the other side of their neck that a race war is coming. They don't make any sense, y'all. They don't even understand what they're saying. They have no idea what they're saying. They're just saying what gets them the most clicks and the most views and the most likes. Brothers and sisters, I say unto you before I leave out, the Levites were counted to being the least among the people. There comes a time when we read about it in the book of Ezra, where we see the major sin of the priest, and they have thousands and thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of children with strange women. And they create the very instance that we're at now, where I'm talking to you about what they've done. Isn't that ironic? Having said that, I appreciate all of your time. Y'all have a blessed rest of your weekend. May tomorrow be better than today, and may next week surely surpass the week that we just lived in. I salute you. I love you guys. Put the Most High God first at all times. Spiritual Gumbo, out.